Minister. MP York, you have the floor for your interruption.
Yes, thank you. So earlier you mentioned the savings of the Suriname and best policy holders.
MP York, just a reminder, you speak through me.
Sorry.
Yes, I did.
It's my first time.
I know it is.
So through you, Madam Chair, the Minister mentioned the savings of the Suriname and best policy holders by taking them out of the proposal. Question is, can we get a breakdown of what it costs for the best and the Suriname policy holders separately? Because you refer to the Suriname policy holders that we were paying for them, but in the addendum that I have here, footnote 5, where it clearly states, for the policyholders currently residing in Suriname, between brackets, the Suriname policyholders, the HLA counts them as Curacao policyholders. So basically, Curacao is, according to the footnote, Curacao is paying for them already. So what savings did St. Maarten really save by taking them out if in the original HLA, they were already seen as Curacao policyholders? Thank you.
Yes, Minister, you may answer. Oh, the mic.
My apologies. Madam Chair, I believe that is basically the same question posed by MP Arian, but I need to clarify to the good MP that the savings for the best in Suriname for St. Maarten would be that 5 million guilders in savings. Yes? Separate. Sure, I believe we can provide separate. Yeah, but he wants it to be provided separately. Yes, we will be able to provide it separately to you.
Do you have the numbers? Because seeing that the clarification, you would have, the interruption, sorry, you would have to answer that immediately if possible. Do you have the amounts, the figures, or do you need?
The 5 million guilders is the St. Maarten's portion.
Okay, because the MP asked like to specify for both.
Oh, okay, so I understand his question. We got it together. We didn't get Suriname and the best separate. We got them together. So that's why I'm providing it to you in that manner.
Okay. Thank you, Minister. You may continue. And the question wasn't fully answered, MP?
No, so in the original document, the Suriname policyholders are seen as basically Curaçaoians. So what is the exact savings? What are the exact savings that St. Maarten is saving by taking them out of the proposal? So I didn't really understand that part, because if they're seen as Curaçaoians, that means we were never paying for them.
No, we were paying.
Minister, could you answer that?
So that was my confirmation. Why?
So, and in my other questions to come, it will be very clear what I believe was unjust by the central bank by including St. Maarten in this peak facility, which we clearly do not need, and putting these hidden costs. And if questions weren't answered, we would have never known that we would have been paying still for the best or Suriname and also the execution costs. What we were informed, what was brought to our attention after careful review, is that St. Maarten would have been paying the 5 million guilders for the total of the best and that of Suriname. That's St. Maarten's portion. I can't, unfortunately, break it down any further because they did not provide further breaking down to me. Okay. Yes, and it's very important to state that the peak facility was placed together. It wasn't a separate peak facility, and now we are requesting such.
Okay. Thank you, Minister. Minister, you may continue. Confusing the public. There is no loan in discussion.
The current solution for ENNIA, as outlined in the agreement and the addendum, does not involve a direct loan from the Netherlands. However, as I've mentioned before, the PEAK facility can be considered an indirect loan. The PEAK facility is used when a country's contribution does not meet the obligations of the resolution fund. This is precisely why it's crucial to thoroughly read and understand these agreements. When the PEAK facility is utilized, it can function as a loan with a yearly interest rate of 1% on the funds used. The countries act as guarantor, meaning that if the resolution fund is unable to repay, the countries will be responsible for the repayment. The initial cash flow received showed that Sint Maarten would have an ending PEAK facility balance of 8 million to be repaid by Sint Maarten. However, under the addendum, Sint Maarten will only use the PEAK facility twice and will end with a balance of 0. This limited use will also save Sint Maarten approximately 3 million in interest expenses. 4, we have a looming refinancing in October. Government sit under the gun. There is a risk of no solution. The government will have to pay more on extra interest than on the ENNIA resolution. Yes, answer, it is very clear that we have a looming refinancing in October, and it is also evident that the previous signed refinancing agreement linked the ENNIA matter to these loans, limiting our alternatives. However, instead of agreeing to anything solely due to the pressure of the upcoming refinance, we have done our best to improve the terms of the agreement for the benefit of Sint Maarten. It is crucial to stand our ground and not rush into signing anything simply because of a threat of higher interest rates. We must carefully evaluate what is being put before us. Question 5. With regards to the data collected on Sint Maarten's policyholders, place of residence, place of work, etc., could Parliament also receive this information? Answer, data regarding place of residence, place of work is confidential and cannot be shared with Parliament. What I can share with Parliament is the following general information. Life individual insurance, 1,390 amount of policies. Group life insurance, 1,393. Pensioners, 301. Total policyholders, 3,084. Currently, 301 pensioners on Sint Maarten receive on average monthly benefit of 600 guilders. These are mainly pensioners that have reached retirement age. Roughly 52% of the 1,390 individuals that have taken out an individual life insurance at ENNIA are older than 50 years, which corresponds to roughly 48%. Being 50 years or younger. Approximately 60 companies have group life insurances at ENNIA, ranging from financial or legal services providers to companies that are in the medical, hospitality, manufacturing, food, or industrial industry, non-exhaustive lists. The individual insurance policy holders at ENNIA hold job positions in a wide variety of industries as well. Among others, the industries mentioned above apply to these individual policyholders as well. Former MP Jacobs asked, what are the risks if a new refinancing agreement isn't concluded within the given time frame? Please provide clarity on what the risks were at the time and what they are now. Answer, the risk of the current refinancing agreement is not signed on time is that Sint Maarten will face higher interest rates, resulting in an additional 12 million guilders per year starting 2025. Last year, the risks were the same, higher interest rates, while Sint Maarten agreed, Curaçao did not, as they sought a better solution for their country. Although they temporarily faced higher interest rates, they prioritized Curaçao's interests. That is precisely my approach now, putting Sint Maarten first. Initially, the condition was higher interest rates by stating that you would not have agreed to the linkage of the COVID loan. Would you then have been subjected Sint Maarten to higher interest rates? The condition for higher interest rates was signed off in the short-term refinancing agreement. No, I would not have subjected St. Maarten to higher interest rates. I would have fought against linking the COVID loans to the ENNIA solution, as the two are unrelated. What criteria was used when it was determined that there were 3,000 St. Maarten policyholders? What qualifies these 3,000 policyholders to be deemed St. Maarten in the first place? Answer: in the addendum, a distinction is made between 1. Policyholders who entered into policies with ECL's St. Maarten office, policyholders who entered into policies with ECL's Curaçao office, and policyholders who entered into policies with ECL's BES branch office. This distinction is consistent with the outline agreement. To be clear, BES and Suriname policyholders are not connected to St. Maarten ENNIA office. St. Maarten policyholders are specifically those whose policies are tied to the St. Maarten's ENNIA office. As such, in the previous agreement, St. Maarten was paying for policyholders of BES and Suriname that has no ties to St. Maarten whatsoever. How were the BES and Suriname policyholders included in the St. Maarten policyholders in the first place? Answer: the BES and Suriname policyholders were not part of the St. Maarten policyholders. However, they were initially included in the cost to be covered by St. Maarten. In other words, St. Maarten would have been responsible for these costs if we hadn't made the necessary clarifications in the addendum. This addendum now makes it clear that St. Maarten will only be paying for policyholders directly associated with the St. Maarten's ENNIA office. Once we received the yearly overview of St. Maarten policyholders and assessed that St. Maarten could cover this portion, it became evident why the peak facility was in place and what other costs would have been hidden in it. MP Arian, this addendum represents St. Maarten's position. Has it already been approved by the Central Bank in Curaçao? The addendum was discussed and agreed upon on a technical level between St. Maarten, Curaçao, and the Central Bank. Does the government have the money to purchase Mullet Bay at present? Are there any plans for the government to purchase Mullet Bay in the coming months? Answer: does St. Maarten currently have the funds to purchase Mullet Bay? No, it does not. However, similar conversations to those MP Arian had with APS can take place. In the prior agreement, St. Maarten did not have priority regarding Mullet Bay, meaning that even if we wanted to purchase it, the chances were slim. Now at least we have the option of first priority to purchase, and hopefully by the time the opportunity arises, we will be in a better financial position. At this point, we can assess whether it presents a viable business plan for St. Maarten and discuss how to make it happen, also taking into account the possibilities of public-private partnerships. The sale of Mullet Bay, when it will be, is not up to the government of St. Maarten, as we are not the owners of Mullet Bay. It is up to the Sun Resort, which is now under the supervision of the Central Bank.
Minister, we have another interruption.